Y'all, these videos are so funny of these British people. Like, even the ones that think that they're defending Americans, like, they're just like, oh, you know, their food is so heavily seasoned and they just don't know fresh tasting food. What? Like, yes, I have a whole video about ultra processed food and the dangers of the 10,000 approved chemicals here in America. There was even this one guy that was like, I've lived in America and I know what the problem is. It's that we use, like, they'll use an onion powder whereas we just use the onion. Sir, first of all, we use both most often, but there's a lot of Americans, including myself, that makes our own powders. Like, it's nothing to dehydrate a tomato, a onion, a garlic. Like, the process of making our own seasonings, and like, it's just like, what? Like, these people think that we just I guess we just eat Pop Tarts all day. Like, these think pieces that these people are making about America and why Keith Lee was surprised that he just got a mushroom on his plate, and then they're like, oh, you gotta eat it all together. Okay, it's gonna taste all bland together. Like, there are a lot of dishes where you can just put fresh tasting things in there, but if nothing is seasoned and nothing is like bringing it all together, like, it has to make sense. It's, ooh, see, I'm going all over the place. I just want to say it's beans and toast. Like, it, first of all, Keith Lee, what were you expecting? Like, I think about the Turkish pasta. I don't know if y'all know about the viral Turkish pasta. And I got a video of myself trying it on here. And I forgot to eat it with the tomato. When I ate it with the tomato, it brought it, like, oh my god, it brought the dish from a 8 out of 10, I would say, to a 10/10. Like, the tomato was just so fresh in it. It tasted so good. Um, like, I loved it. Like, we know what fresh taste. It's like I can't even explain it. Like, we like vegetables. Vegetables are fine. Not all vegetables have to be seasoned. But if nothing is seasoned, you bring in a bunch of blandness together, again, it's gonna taste like a bunch of blandness whether you eat it all together or not. Like, what? But back to the beans and toast. Like, second of all, what were y'all expecting? Like, and then I even seen somebody say, oh, it's a struggle meal. Is it? Is it? Because there are also people on here that are like, no, this is what a real English breakfast looks like, or a real breakfast looks like, and it looked the exact same.
Bread with the egg on top with beans. It's 10/10. It's the best breakfast ever. Ever, ever, ever.
No hate to you, girl, but you didn't help his case. We eat fresh food. I don't know where, like, this notion or this, like, what? We eat fresh food. Fresh food tastes good. Fresh ingredients taste good on food. Like, what?
Of going to the US for more than a month, because after a couple of days there was so much salt, so much corn syrup, so much artificial flavoring, I just turned into Randy from Trailer Park Boys. I don't think there's any point as a Brit getting upset about Americans down. It is an unequivocal truth that Americans use more seasoning in their food than we do. Before we even get to spice, there's garlic powders, onion powders, celery powders, all sorts of powders and potions. But there is an ingredient in UK and European cuisine which is becoming increasingly difficult for Americans to get a hold of. Because what we put in our food in the UK is food. We don't use a pot of onion powder, we use an onion. We need to create a base for a sauce. We don't use a bunch of packets, we use an onion and celery and carrot and make a sofrito. And obviously not everyone, I'm making a generalization based on my experience, but I find the differences in palate fascinating. And don't get us wrong, we've got loads of artificial stuff, but
You being able to travel back and forth, I feel confident with saying that you eating that way is a choice. You don't have to come to America and eat crap.